We're good. First time DMQ starting. It's been going well. Having a hard time with writer's block at the moment, but that's probably normal. Sounds like you just need some help brainstorming new ideas, but I get that. Yeah, everybody experiences it. Making a light up chandelier. Yeah, so I wanted to have this like hanging. I've got so I'm building this cottage, which I have a lot of the first floor detail done. And I want a light source up here also. Oh, thanks for the plug, Construct. I'm obviously biased. It's a cool place to be. I bet. But you should focus more on what the big bad is doing and how that moves in the background and plops them into and kind of give me a better view. Yeah, I mean, without knowing the specifics, that sounds reasonable. I do think I think you have like your instincts are correct though, like trying to find a balance really, right? I think I had a much easier time planning and plotting the big bad's movements in my second big campaign versus my first big campaign. Um, and I think that's because the first time around, I have a lot of ideas that I hold to that I believe are true about the big bad. And I want to sort of pepper and hint that throughout. But in my first campaign, there was still a lot of there was a lot put on the party to engage with any of that, to care about any of that. Whereas when I designed sort of the structure, the big outline, big picture stuff for my second campaign, their conflict with the big bad was right at the center of everything. Like that was the most important part of the story that defined like another way to describe this would be, you know, the defining sentence for my first campaign would be something like you know, a group of adventurers explore the world and keep their secret town community hidden away in the mountains to protect them or something. Like that's the no mention of a big bad in there, no mention of an overarching threat because it's more complicated. My second campaign, that one sentence would be you know, a party of adventurers joins a guild only to find out that it's headed the guild master is a lich and now they have to fight against what they built. Like that is a much more coherent, oh, here are the heroes, that's the villain, and the story is all kind of tied together. Whereas when I did my first campaign, it was a lot more sprawling, lots of interesting things to do, but it didn't necessarily have that unifying touch. And that's really hard to inject later. I did find ways to kind of pull that together to sort of create lots of different threats and sort of tie it to that big bad. And it works, but I definitely think that the through line of the big threat is a lot easier to understand from session to session in my second campaign. Oh, enough. You're plenty creative. You're that's not the issue. You have the plot, you just struggle with the micro. We all struggle with the micro. Your sentence would be people all over the continent are going missing, and out of nowhere, a magical carnival shows up in town. Mm-hmm. Which is a great, I think, idea. That's a great premise for an ongoing sort of mystery and something to solve. Another thing to do, which honestly, some of these ideas are going to work or not work depending on how flexible your outline is or how flexible you are as a DM with your big ideas. And I say that I'm talking about myself too. Like, how flexible am I with my big ideas? How much do I hold tightly to? But if there's a big bad threat, like let's take your example behind the carnival, something that I want to try in a future campaign is rather than defining and setting out, even for myself or in the outline, here's the big bad, to define sort of like a Sinister Six or like a council of big bads, 5 or 6 bad guys that are going to begin showing up in the campaign, and then just watch for which one seems to um, instigate or seems to connect emotionally with the players the most, and then be like, that's the one I'm going to build up and bring back around somehow. That's the one that's going to get brought back from the dead, or that's the one that's going to escape, or whatever. Because it can be really hard to sort of, I find it difficult anyway, to create a big bad character and then make it a hated, you know, qualified end boss. But if I create just like lots of interesting kind of mini bosses or mini sort of villain arcs, you never know. Like the party might just like lock onto and be like, "This we hate this one in particular for whatever reason." You know, this one insulted our, uh, this one insulted our Raven, and so that's the one that absolutely has to bite it. Beetlejuice vibes from Magical Carnival. I agree, and that's a good thing. Or like, you know, Fae, dark Fae nonsense. The missing people are actually changelings who essentially get instructions from the owner of the carnival for a large ritual, the big bad, which is essentially a ritual to bring back the father of all gods, my pantheon, who wants to bring about the end of the world. You gotta have the end of the world in there somewhere. I have my two ongoing my campaign 1 and my campaign 2 are the ones that I run every week, and they both technically take place in the same world, just on different ends of it. And I don't necessarily, I'm keeping it unknown exactly when each takes place, like in terms of world history and year, because I don't want the end of the world in one campaign to negatively affect the other. So yeah, we'll see when one of the campaigns finishes up which one came first, and then make sure the other one came second. I think it's fun. I mean, especially, I mean, so, some of it's even just for me. Like, I guess it's that's the version of the world building bug that I have, is that I know that there are these little crossover things that wouldn't make sense to each party separately, and some of them only live in my head, but makes me happy. So that's good enough.